key word in that, thank you very much, Gloria, was it's warm in here. Well, thank you for inviting me to this. Here. I have the sniffles. I just, low on sleep. We just finished a film yesterday. It took us a year to shoot. And so I only got 2 hours of sleep. Flew in late last night. And then I flew over here this morning. So one of the good things about this little book here, by the way, it's kind of nice to be in this with you. I really feel honored. It's number 5 on the bestseller list today. So hopefully, Gloria, hey Gloria, if it stays here, I'll be able to donate a lot of money. This one also just came out. Finally, they gave me a translator. They came out together in the last 2 weeks. This one here, they gave me a translator from Spain, and they translated. They had a host of translators, and it was terrible translation. It was just terrible. But Alfaguara is one of the great publishing houses in Europe, and despite that, I insisted that they burn the book, and they get some translators from the frontera, from the border, where they speak the Spanish I speak, you know. And so they got 2 wonderful translators, and then there was Mexico's greatest intellectual critic today is a man by the name of Ilan Stavans, and he's had the great privilege of being with Gabriel Garcia Marquez for the last 2 years, you know, following him, or interviewing him about his life and stuff, which is great. I mean, one of my dreams is to go meet Gabriel. He calls himself Garcia Marquez, and one of my dreams is to go see him. But Ilan is a very cantankerous critic. He's every New York publisher has tried to get him to do an introduction to a book, and he's refused to do it. Well, he did this one, and they were astounded in New York, and they said, "Well, how did you get him to do it?" I said, "I just picked up the phone and called him and said, 'Could you do an introduction for my book?' He said, 'Sure.'" No magic there. Now, I'm gonna, and then this one here. This is an interesting book that I did. They were going to start a press in San Diego, so I wrote this book and I gave them. They did 10,000 copies, and I told them keep all the money for the books. And so it started the press up. It's a great press, and I wrote about this woman. Who they found roaming in Kansas City in the dumpsters, and they didn't know how she got there. She was rummaging through the trash bins, and a policeman came, arrested her, and took her in. And they thought she was insane, so they put her in an asylum for 20 years. And she was muttering a lot, talking a lot to the walls. And this doctor came swinging through the unit one day, and he stopped, and he recognized the language she was speaking. It was Raramuri. Comes from the Chihuahua Desert, a tribe there. And so they released her, and they asked her, "Well, how did you get here?" So she just said that she walked from Chihuahua to Kansas, and nobody believed her story. So everybody called her Rita falling from the sky. They did like 3 documentaries on her. They did a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, I wrote about Rita. And I'll read you a little bit of that. But first, to start out the reading, I'd like to read some of Antonio's poetry from this book here. I think Marina has marked these. I'm going to read in English and then Spanish, okay? Abriendo. And keep in mind that the Cubans speak a different Spanish, so I may not recognize some of these Spanish words. This one's called Sister. Sister, thinking of you, I walk by a clearing of love. In the midst of this being and becoming, in this siege, you are the beacon that illuminates my destiny. Absent of voice, comes to me the consoling trill of your wholesome remedy that calms aversion and annuls the tedium of not being able to walk by where the prow of my ship came, opening walls. Because of you, I am almost yesterday, and in the ripe fruits of the seeded sympathy, I savor your nectar of dreams. Because of you, on the mast are hoisted up poetry and the reasons for being what I am. Isn't that nice? Don't you just love that seeded sympathy? Wow. That's what got me addicted to poetry. Words like, little arrangements of words like that. Okay, the next one's called, this one's the same. Hermana. Hermana, pensando en ti camino por un claro de amor, en medio de este ser y estar, en este asedio, tú eres faro que alumbra mi destino. Ausente de una voz, me llega el trino, consolador de su sano remedio, que calma el desomar y anula el tedio de no poder andar por donde vino. La proa de mi barco abriendo muros. Por ti soy casi ayer en los maduros frutos de las sembradas simpatía. Saboreo tu néctar de ilusiones. Por ti, de un mástril, se alazan las razones para ser lo que soy y además poesía. Isn't that nice? You can see why they call it the romantic